love that sound, man. Whew. What's up, y'all? Bryce here, back at you again, Bryce with Reviews. And today we are going to finish off Star Wars Visions, the Japanese animated and directed series for Disney Plus. I know I said I was gonna do 3 episodes, but they're not that long, and I got excited, and I just finished it out, and I want to talk about all of it now. But before I do, thank you for the new subscribers. Appreciate you guys keeping them likes up and subscribers coming up. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna need for you guys to watch this though. Y'all gotta watch this, because if you get enough views, you can possibly get a season 2, or maybe even a movie or a spin-off show or something like that. All right, well, let's get into this though. Last time I left off, I think we did the twins. That was the 3rd episode. The next one is the Village Bride. This one was more artsy. You have a Jedi, and I don't want to say her master, but it's somebody she listened to. And they're on this planet living amongst this tribe, and they're observing the tribe, and this tribe is super connected to their planet. It's almost like the Avatar, the movie, that James Cameron movie. And they can touch this rock and see visions of the past of things that happened on their planet. I think only the princess can do it. And it's pretty cool because she got the crazy hairstyle, the famous Star Wars crazy hairstyles. It's dope. Also, this is a spoiler review. I can't hold it back anymore. It's been out for almost close to a week. This is spoilers. So in this one, you have this warlord who is kind of taking over the planet, but not really. But in order to keep the peace, the princess has to go and live with the empire or whatever. And I think she can go with her husband. I don't know. It's weird. That part was weird. I'm pretty sure they was gonna kill him, but she has to go, and the tribe is super respectful to their women. They worship their women, and the sister of the princess is tripping out, and she got her own little rebel crew who wants to try to stop her from leaving. And the Jedi and the her guide, I'm gonna go ahead and say her guide, is just observing this stuff. And as the episode goes on, you see the warlord pulls up for the bride, or for the princess, and the sister cats off and tries to sabotage everything, but she get caught or whatever. And so right before the warlord kills her, tries to kill her and shoots her, the Jedi comes out of nowhere. It's a girl Jedi, and she stops the bullet, the classic stop bullet, and she makes it go back into the gun. Everybody starts tripping, everybody running around, and it's clean because he picks up the sister, and it's he's about to shoot her in the head, he has her. And I love this part, the heels click up or something. The Jedi's wearing these heels, and they click up, and I think it makes her faster, because they already fast. Jedi's already fast. And she just, it's a yellow lightsaber too. She pulls out her yellow lightsaber and just pew, and dude just dropped. It was cold. I'm like, okay, that classic anime kill. All right, we're gonna see that a few times in this, but I like how it was done. And that one was cool. So I think I'll give that. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna scale. I'm gonna do the scale 1 out of 10. I'll give that one a 7. I give it a 7 because it was a cool story. I give it a 7. All right, this next one, the Ninth Jedi. Whew. Now this is a tie for the episode, the first one for me. This is crazy. I love this episode. This one looks more like a Naruto movie or something like that. The quality of it, I mean. Oh man, so the story with this one, you have this, so it's in the far future, Jedis don't exist anymore. You got this dude named the Margraves, or Juro, whatever you want to call him. And he's trying to put back the Jedis, or he's trying to recreate the Jedis. And it's weird because he looks he looks weird. I say that. He got red eyes and like a metal mask, and it's pretty. He looks pretty dope. So it's weird, and he sends out this message across the galaxy, and like 7 Jedi's pop up at this temple where he tell them to pull up to, and he's basically telling them like, look, I can recreate the Jedi's or whatever. I have like a sabersmith, and we made lightsabers. All these episodes are heavily surrounded by lightsabers. Like each one got something to do with a lightsaber for sure. So that's something else that I love about it. So basically, he's telling them like, yo, pull up. I got these lightsabers for you, and we can start this and put an end to the Sith and bring peace back to the galaxy. Because apparently the Sith is turned up right now. And so it then skips to the swordsmith and his daughter. I believe the daughter's name is Kara, I think. And she been doing the saber thing for a minute, because she comes into the shop, picks up one of the sabers, and it's clean, because the way the sabersmith makes the sabers is based off the user. So say if you're strong in the Force, it will have a color to it, and it will be a certain length, and you can adjust the length, but it will pretty much show how strong you are in the Force when you hold it. And when the daughter picks one up to practice with it, it's like a clear, see-through, like kind of tinty black. It's pretty cool, and it's like long, and like she stretches it, and she's like doing her little tricks, and you can tell she's pretty saucy, because apparently she probably has been practicing with these things. And he has 7 other lightsabers that he wraps up, and as he's wrapping them up for delivery, you see this ship pop up. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is where it's about to go down. And so he like, all right, look, I'm gonna need you to take this to this planet or whatever, and give it to the Margraves or whatever, the Droid dude. She like, all right, I got you. And she's like kind of tripping, because he panicking as like he getting it together and giving it to her. So she on her way out. Next thing she know, she looked back and she see her dad, and it's like an explosion. What happened was the 2 guys that was in the ship that pulled up, they wanted the lightsabers, and like, he not gonna say nothing. They try to shoot him or shoot at her as she's driving away, and he does some type of Force thing, and it blows up in his shop, and everybody gets blown up, but they cool or whatever. And so she escapes, and one of the guys starts chasing her, and this is when like something is up with her. Like, so he's chasing her on these jet bikes, and man, like she's dodging. She turns around on the bike, pulls the lightsaber out, starts deflecting the blaster. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, hold on, who is this? And so same thing, like the dude that's chasing her is like, whoa, she turned up. And so they get over this ice. She jump off her bike. She start running towards him. She cut his bike down, slide under him, grab her bike, and she just leave him there. And like the dude just get up and walk away. So I'm like, all right, that's weird. He ain't even tripping. So the girl makes it to the temple, and as the other Jedi are waiting at the temple, they're constantly asking questions like, can we trust this dude? He look weird. He got us all here. Is it a trap? If it is a trap, he must think he can see all of us, because we all turned up in the Force. And so a robot comes in and was like, he'll be here shortly or whatever. And the robot look all scary looking too. And so they keep asking him like, how can we have proof, about this Jedi Order thing? So the robot shows them a lightsaber. In the beginning of the show, it's already 6 Jedis in the temple, and the 7th one walks in, and this is the guy who was like, oh, let me see that. Can I see it? Because nobody's ever seen it before, so they're all kind of thrown, like looking at the lightsaber. He picks it up, ignites it, it's blue, and so they're still in a little awe, and they notice that somebody's coming, and it's the girl. She pulls up. She shows them the lightsabers. She's like, look, I need y'all to help me. They captured my dad. I don't know who they are. They took him. They flew off the planet. I need y'all to come help me save him. So in the midst of all that, you find out that the dude named the Margraves was there the whole time, and he's inside the robot. It's crazy. So he hops out, and this is when everything goes nuts. So the 6 Jedi that were already there are actually Sith, and they killed, I think they killed the Jedi that those messages were supposed to go to, and they came there in their place. And so they pick up the lightsabers, and they ignited, all of theirs turn red. I'm like, oh, fast. So it's crazy. So because like the lightsaber Smith, the way he made it, it reflects the user. So they all Sith. The Juro dude hops out the robot, and like I'm thinking like, oh, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? The Sith Empire had just started now. Like it was all a lie. But the Margraves dude is a good guy, and he does like this force thing, and he pulls one of the sabers out of the six Jedi's hands. And man, from there he ignites it. It turns green, and on his like it's green, and like around it, it's like another green like a circle. Like it's crazy. It looks super clean. And so him, Kara, and the guy who just walked in, the guy that just walked in, that had walked in the temple and picked up the lightsaber the first time, he really never used a lightsaber before, so he don't really know what he's doing. And so Kara being saucy and the Margraves being saucy, like she bats him out the way, and the Kara and Margraves just start going ape shit. All right, he's killing them left and right. Just it's crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, this is on Disney Plus. I'm like, this is crazy. And so that's what I really loved about the story. You didn't see it come. It kind of reminded me like a classic, like a Naruto episode or something. Like, you know, you're expecting to see these guys. They all look cool, but the bad guys are actually cool. The ones that look bad are actually cool, and the ones that look good are actually bad. So I thought that was clean. And the way it ended. Oh, so all right, this is one of the dopest parts. So as they're fighting, there's another Jedi or Sith that's fighting. So after Margraves and Kara take out the guys that they're fighting, the guy who never used a lightsaber before is fighting a Jedi or a Sith. We're not gonna say what he is. He's fighting this dude, and as they're fighting, the guy's red lightsaber starts to turn purple in the middle of the fight. And the Margraves is like, all right, look, y'all both stop. And he's talking to the dude in the purple, like, you know, you catting off. You shouldn't be. He's like, you know, you're right. I got too excited in the fight. I'm like, ooh. So for those who don't know, when you have like a purple lightsaber, you pretty much can use the dark and the light side at the same time. It's like a perfect balance. So you get the purple saber. So I'm like, bro, that was fire. And so you like everybody got their own saber now, and like the episode ends with them going to go save the dad, so you don't see what happens. So that's my problem. Like it was so fire. I'm like, they gotta finish this. Like that was one of the open-ended episodes where I'm like, come on, like y'all playing. There has to be more episodes to that. Now the scale 1 to 10, that's an easy 10. Easy 10. If I had 11, I'd give it 11. Shit. All right, that was the Ninth Jedi. Whew, bro, that was too cold. I'm telling y'all. All right, next we had TOB1. This episode reminded me of Astro Boy. Even the sound effects, the way it looked and the sound effect reminded me of Astro Boy, and that's a good thing because I like Astro Boy. So you have this professor, a Jedi professor. It's like he doesn't have any arms. Like his sleeves is just like waving. It's pretty funny. So he's like a professor, and he's building these robots, and he builds TOB1. And that's another thing. At each episode, the droids all got clean names. I was over here trying to figure out. I'm trying to make up my own droid names. I'm like, man, how they come up with these names? You got Arduo 49. CO3. I'm like, oh man, these names is clean. So he just finished working on TOB1, and he's obviously like super artificial intelligence. I think this is probably in the future as well. They don't really give, like I said, a specific timeline. This is like a feeling you get. So, and the professor's mission is to they're on this planet, and he wants to terraform it and turn it back into a livable planet. But TOB1 is having these dreams of becoming a Jedi. Like I said, each episode is heavily based around either Jedi or lightsabers. And so the professor, I think Professor Mitaka, he is telling Toby like, look, or TOB1 to, in order to become a Jedi, you got to find the Kyber crystal. And so like the TOB1 goes all around the planet looking for this kyber crystal. You can't find it, and the whole episode, Mitaka, well, in the beginning of the episode, Mitaka told him not to go in the basement. And so he's thinking like, well, maybe it's in the basement. So he goes in the basement, and for sure, it's a starship in there. He goes in the ship, starts pressing the buttons, and of course, signal goes out, gets to an Imperial ship. They tripping. And so a Sith is dispatched, or, I guess it's a Sith, some guy, cloaked up, red lightsaber, heads to the planet. Mitaka's tripping, so this is when he shows that he's strong in the Force. He opens up a wall with his mind, or with the Force, and puts TOB1 in there and tells him to hide. And of course, he gives him the lightsaber hilt, but it's open to let you know like there's no kyber crystal in it still. But he gives him a lightsaber hilt and tells the other robot, CO3, to watch over him. And so obviously, OG get handled. TOB1 comes out, everything is destroyed, all the other robots is destroyed. So him and CO3 rebuild everything, and his goal is like, I'm gonna re-terraform this planet. I'm gonna live out the dreams for Mitaka, Professor Mitaka. And he finishes it, and things start to grow and everything. And then that's in this moment, I believe the kyber crystal was in him the whole time. And so once he achieved that, it, like, I guess it made him so happy, and he was one with the Force at that moment, after terraforming it, and he gets his lightsaber. And when that happens, the Sith notices it, and he's pulling up again, and he hops out. He was like, see, I knew it had to be another Jedi down here. And so they have their fight. And this one, I like the fight. It was more cartoony though. It was more like for sure like kiddie style with it. It wasn't super scary or intense, but I loved it because as they're fighting, the Sith is obviously strong, and this is TOB1's first time trying out the saber, and so he gets Force pushed back, and in this moment he has a Force dream or vision, and he's talking to Mitaka, and Mitaka is like, look, man, you got this. You got this. You've been waiting for this. This all you. And he calls him Toby instead of TOB1. So now he has a regular name. And mind you, when TOB1 daydreams, he always daydreams as he's like a real boy. And so he wakes up from the dream, turns up, you feel me? He turns around, starts fighting again, and he's doing all these saucy moves. It starts picking up here. It starts getting dope. And then the crazy thing happens is the Siths take my boy arm off. He takes his arm off. I'm like, oh crap, he took his arm. I'm like, dang. And so at this moment, you think it's over for him, and this is tight. It becomes like a mech suit with CO3. They combine, and he gets like a jetpack, and he turns like super blue, and like he does the classic anime slash and served him up. So I'm like, okay, I like that. So that was a cool little spin. And for that one, TOB1, I give that a 7.5 because, like I said, I liked it, because of the art style mostly, and the sound effects was dope. The next one, The Elder. I have a problem with this one. Now, it's not what you think. The Elder is dope. I just wish it was longer. This was a really short episode. So with The Elder, this one had a episode 2 Revenge of the Sith vibe to it. It was like, so you have your Jedi Master. His name was, I forget his name. What was that? Tajin. And you got your Padawan Dan. And they're just observing the outer rim of the galaxy. And as they're exploring, the OG Jedi gets senses a disturbance in the Force for a real split second. And he like, hold up. I'm like, stop. And like they stop. And then he asks his Padawan if he felt that. He was like, no, I don't feel anything. And he was like, apparently this Jedi Master has been to a lot of planets in the Outer Rim, so he's like famous for it. So I'm assuming this is taking place in the past. So it's a lot of Jedi still around. There's no Sith around. And so they go to the nearest planet. He recognizes the planet. He was like, look, we'll chill here. I'm going to ask some questions or whatever. Just chill out for a second. And so he goes to talk to the local people, and the Padawan is just chilling back, and he finds out that some old dude came there recently in a ship, and he got out and he walked into the mountains. So already I'm like, the story is like a mystery. I'm like, okay, and I already know a little bit just from the trailer, so I'm excited. So he's like, we'll wait here by the ship until he would come back, obviously. And the Padawan Dan is like, I mean, there's two of us. Why don't you watch the ship and I go to the mountains, since it's like a lot of terrain. I can cover that pretty quick and I can see what's going on. And like the whole time, the OG Jedi Tajin he's not accepting that this is a Sith or anything like it. You get every sign is pointing to that this is probably a Sith, but he's not tripping hard enough. So he's like, all right, well, go ahead, but don't count me out. Like, I can for sure mess with that mountain too, but I'll still chill here and watch the ship. And like before the kid or the Jedi leaves, the Padawan leaves to walk up the mountain. He tells him like, find a guy, because there's these creatures called Vampas, and like they super dangerous or whatever. And if they won't attack you unless you provoke them. So don't provoke them, just leave them alone. You're like, all right, cool. So he's going up the mountain with these guides. It's like these kid guys. And as he's going up the mountain, you can see like the terrain is turned up. And so like he says to himself, like, dang, it's crazy that the old man came this way. But I guess it's not that bad apparently. But like, nah, it's crazy. So as he's walking, he sees a Vampa. It's dead. And he walks up on it and he messages back to his Jedi master, like, hey, this is a dead Vampa appearing that looked like it's a slice through his neck, a clean cut. And the master is like, well, only a lightsaber could do that. And he was like, all right, look, head back now and we'll just investigate together. And of course, as soon as he stand up to come back, you turn around, the elder is right there. I'm like, woohoo! And it's like, it's clean. He got like this dirty old ass rag looking cloak on. And the Padawan is like, are you a Sith? And the OG is like, or the elder is like, nah, not really. They fight amongst themselves too much. And so like I broke away from that. Long story short. And so the Sith immediately takes off his cloak and pulls out his lightsaber and ignites him, and it's red bladed lightsaber, so it looked like swords. And he was like, you feel me? Let's basically just have this conversation with swords instead of, with words. So the Padawan, not being no punk, he take off his cloak, he light up. When he light his thing up, he ready. And so the Sith finally opened up his eyes, or the elder, and it's like yellow and black. It's clean. And so this part gets so crazy for me. This is why I need this to be a movie or its own show. This Sith dude, this elder starts attacking him, and like the entire time, as Dan, the Jedi, is trying to hold himself down, like the Sith dude is like, your defense is weak. You're not the dude that I sensed earlier. Or you must be like his student or something. Or maybe if I kill you, he'll come. I'm like, but he said this the whole time. And like the last thing he said was like, why are you defending like that? It's not, and like he's upset at the Jedi for not being good. And so like you can tell like, all right, well, this next move is about to be bad. And like he does this thing where like it's clear as day what he does. And the move is so saucy, and he just so like, ooh, he dropped him. So he dropped him. He drops him. And so it starts raining. The OG Jedi sensed that instantly. So he's running up there on his way up there. He pull up. You got your elder sitting on a rock as the Padawan laying on the ground right before him. He's like, oh, so you the one that's strong in the Force. I ain't felt something like this in a minute. I'm excited. He hop off the rock. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh crap. And so as the Jedi, the Master Jedi looks down, he can see that Dan is still alive. He's like, all right, cool. And so like the dude is like moaning and like screaming on the ground or whatever. So they start fighting or whatever, and the elder like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I like this. And so being this kind, this is why I love Jedi's. Tanjin ain't said nothing the whole time. When he does, he like just like they went at it like twice, and like they stalemate it. He just sticks his lightsaber out there, like as a bait, like to bait him, and like the elder immediately attacks. And what he does is like he disarms him, hella fast. And the elder like, what the hell? And like the dude the Jedi throws it up, the lightsaber, and just cut it in half with his lightsaber. Like now we 1-on-1 with it. Dude, this elder got so mad, and he was like, "What the?" And like he just shot the lightning out of his hand. He was like, "Oh, so you thought I only had 2 lightsabers? I got lightning too." And so right before his strike, Tanjiro recognizes like, "Oh shit, this technique." He like jump out the way, try to get closer, but he shoot another one, and he catches it with the lightsaber. And he like, "Oh damn!" Like so, he still made it holding the lightning. And the elder's like smiling, like, "Got you!" Like you know what I'm saying. So he raises his other lightsaber. And right before he slices him, you hear another lightsaber just fly, and the elder turn and just like swipe it away. The Jedi on the ground used the force to throw his lightsaber, and at that moment, as the elder is looking away, dude, this was so clean. The Master Jedi de-ignites his lightsaber. The lightning keeps going straight. He dodges it and sticks the hilt on the elder's chest and turns it back on. I'm like, oh my god! And the elder like, ah. And his fall. I'm like, what? It was so clean. The choreography in this was fire. I'm like, man, and like I love how it was a mystery build up. And for anime fans, you know, talking shit is a big thing in anime. If you know how to talk shit, you're gonna go a long way. Your character gonna go a long way. You're gonna be a favorite. And that's what I was feeling with the elder. Like, man, that was yeah, so the elder, the Ninth Jedi, and the duel so far has been like the most fires episodes for sure. Alright, we getting close to the end, y'all. So now we have episode 8, Loop and Ocho. This was one of the longer episodes, I feel like. And this one looks like the Studio Ghibli films, like the anime movies. Well, in this story, it takes place on a planet called Tau, and it's like a super rich environment. So the Empire comes there, but for some reason Tau can't maintain itself, so it needs help from the Empire. So it's working together with the Empire, and the Empire brought slaves over and stuff. So this story is basically about Loop and Ocho. Loop is a slave that escapes the Imperial forces and is found by Ocho and her father, and is pretty much adopted. And like obviously from a different planet, and she's like a giant rabbit looking thing. It looks clean though. It looks dope in the way like, and she's super strong obviously because like she can jump from high places and land from like super high up. And so over time, so it skips over time, so they grow up together and like they become a family. And it's getting time for the daughter Ocho to take over for her dad. And like I said, it's hard for the planet to maintain without the Empire, but the dad hates the Empire and he wants the Empire to leave. And he's like, look, we'll figure it out. We just have to figure it out together as a family. But at this time, the sister is really into the Empire. She is like she's tuned in with them, and so Loop is like in the middle, and or Loop. I'm gonna call it Loop. Loop is in the middle, and she's kind of torn. Like so, as the Ocho and the dad is fighting, Ocho leaves, and Loop goes with her, and like she's telling Loop like, look, I love Pops, but like we can't do this without the Empire. If we like dispatch or do anything to disrespect the Empire, they either gonna kill us or leave, and both is bad. And Loop is just like trying to reason with Ocho to like, you know, talk to Pops a little bit more. Maybe we can figure this out. And like Ocho at this moment is not trying to listen, and she literally pulls up to like she pulls up to the Empire ship, or like she pulls up to the Imperial forces. And like there's like a general there waiting for her, and Loop is like, what? And like apparently Ocho has already been working with them to like fully take over, and her job is just to get the dad to comply. And so Luke is hecka mad. And so the sister, pretty much to let you know that she has fully turned, she cuts her hair off, and like she does this little, this is classic anime too. This is like from Naruto when they do like certain jutsus. You bite your finger and you use your blood to draw on the ground and summon stuff. But this, she used it as makeup. She bit her thumb and just like put these little red marks on her eye, and she was like, "I'm evil now." I'm like, "Oh, come on, that's too much." So now Luke goes back to the house. You feel me? She tell Pops what happened. Pops is like, "Damn, you know, well, I haven't really been that nice to you, and it always seemed like I favored Ocho over you, and that's all gonna change. Like I for sure always loved you, but I know like Ocho was supposed to take over the family name, and so since she's not, you're gonna take over the name, and it's something I gotta give you. And you already know what time it is. He go get that lightsaber, and he give her the whole speech. Like, look, this is a tradition. This ancient warrior came to our planet a long time ago. He brought this sword. So this is obviously in the future with no, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they take place in different time periods. So he's explaining to her like it's been passed down to our family, and now I'm giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be the new head of the family. But I gotta leave, and you already know what that means. He about to go to the Empire or to the wherever the Imperial troops are at to turn up. And he like, well, you the last one, so like just hold it down basically or whatever. And I said that we'll see each other again on trip. And she obviously know where he going, so she tries to chill out and like for a minute, and she hears the explosion in the area where he went. And so off top, she like, nope, I'm going. She take the lightsaber and she starts to head that way. And this is where you get a pretty good look. Well, the whole show, you get a good look at the planet. The planet looked clean, like how it's drawn out. It looks super dope. I like when it's super detailed like that. But as she getting closer, she does this clean maneuver, hops over these other troopers to like avoid the time to hurry up and get there. And as she pulls up, of course, Ocho is fighting the dad with this clean, like, saber is looking electric thing. It's not a saber, but it's those things that can go against lightsabers, whatever. And she's using them, and the dad has like these, those, I forgot what they're called, the size, the little two knives or whatever. And I think they're like reverberating, so like they're like super dangerous. But like he's fighting her with that, and obviously she's younger. You know what I'm saying? He old. He got people with him, so like they all fighting. Some of them getting down, some of them getting whooped. Luke pull up like you know, stop. You know what I'm saying? And as she pull up, I didn't tell y'all this, but the dad is blind. Not blind. He's blind in one eye. He got cut in one eye. And as she pulls up, the daughter Ocho cuts the other eye. Now he blind. He says like, "Oh man, nah, I can't see y'all pretty faces no more." Like, and that pretty much set Loop over. And like, she ignite the lightsaber. Ocho see it. She like, that's that's the family. Like, what you doing with that? And she was like, "Well, it's mine now." And like the phone goes on, so they start fighting. But it's clean because the whole time they're fighting, I like this one because this also has like that that I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna stop saying Naruto and say shonen. That shonen feel to it where you have your good guy trying to convince the bad guy to like stop being bad throughout the fight, like chill, like you doing too much. And so you got that going on, and as the fight's progressing, I think Ocho is literally getting more evil for some reason. I don't know. And Loop is getting more stronger in the force. And like, so they're fighting, and it gets to a point where Loop is getting cold, and like she cuts her Ocho's staff, like she used in half. Now she only has two pieces, and then she does this the classic. She Loop reaches out for one of the Pops' size, and it comes to her, and she uses the force to grab it, and she does like the anime strike, and she cuts the X on her chest, and she falls off like the top of this building that they're fighting on, and a ship picks her up, and like she flies off into the distance with I guess she didn't die, but Luke won the fight. That is cool, but that's how the episode ended. And I'm like, it's definitely not over for them, because it's like, what? And that's what my problem is. Like I said, these episodes are so short, it leave you wanting more. So I guess, like I said, the more of us that watches it, the higher hopes of it being a show or a movie. So we'll see. And last but not least is episode 9. This is weird. Akakari, I believe it's called Akakari. And I watched this episode twice. And if I didn't, so like I said, the first 3 episodes I watched in English and Japanese. After I did that, I could no longer watch it in English, so I finished all of it out in Japanese. That's why I haven't mentioned any other actors' names, because we don't know them like that, the voice actors. I cannot watch it in English. I'm sorry. I'm one of those dudes that for sure I have to see it in its original form, and I loved it in Japanese. So after I watched Akakari, like I said, I watched it twice, and this one is like, it reminds me of Revenge of the Sith. Like, they took story beats from Revenge of the Sith. So this one, you have your Jedi who keeps having these visions of somebody dying, and he can't really see their face. He just know that this person that's dying is on his girlfriend's planet, and he's off, doing his Jedi thing. And he tells his master, like, look, I keep having these dreams or this vision, and I don't know what to do. He's like, well, I'm gonna send somebody. You should stay. And he like, nope, I'm going. And I'm like, ah. And the master was like, yeah, usually when you do stuff like that, it don't turn out well. He was like, no, I got this. I need to go. And so he goes to the planet, and he finds his girlfriend. And what's happened is that she's like a princess or the heir to this throne, her dad's throne. But the shogun, has been killed by the shogun's sister. And so she's taken over and exiled the daughter. And so the Jedi and the daughter take it upon themselves to like go fight this lady or whatever. And turns out her name is Masago, and she's a Sith Lord. And like he actually said that, like, she's a Sith Lord. There's no way you can fight her by herself or whatever. And it's just one girl. She's not even a Jedi or nothing. She got bows and arrows. So I'm like, all right, that's weird. That's for sure hot. Like, you was tripping, like trying to go fight her or whatever. And so as they work together, they get to the town or whatever. They find these guides and they get to the town. It's kind of funny. The guys are pretty funny. It's silly. But I think it's to prepare you for what's about to happen. So they get there and they start holding it down. They're fighting. The Jedi doing really good, and they get to like the main hall or where Masago is, the new Shogun Sith Lord lady, and she come out and she looked like she's super buff. She yoked, and like she don't got, it's not like armor or anything. She just yoked or whatever. And she come out like, y'all both tripping. Y'all think y'all about to do anything, like, you know what I'm saying? So she come out talking her Sith stuff. And so he starts fighting or whatever. And they start fighting, and like, she's saucy. She for sure saucy. And like, she hits him with like this force ability, and like, again, he every time he sees this vision, it hurts him. Like, so he falls to the ground and he sees the vision again of the person dying. And like, as he's doing that, she's calling more of her people to come, pull up on him and try to serve him and kill him. And so like, he sees them approaching, like he gets up with his nicest lightsaber and he starts knocking them down. But it's weird because as she's like knocking these dudes down, it's the one in the back that look weird. Like, it's just like a zombie walking up to him. And it turns out like he kills that person, and it makes the sound like a scream that he was dreaming about. And all these people had on masks, and what the Shogun Masago did was she captured his girlfriend and put her in that outfit and put a mask on her and force pushed her or walked her to him, and he killed her. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know why I like that so much. I loved it. I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh God damn. And she he like what? He is done. Like he can't believe it. Like he was the person that killed the person in his dream, and it was the girl, and it was his girlfriend. I'm like, oh man. So like he's over there mourning, like, oh my god, and like she's standing over him, like with this grin, and she like, well, I'm the only one that can help you. Like she gives him the Lord Sidious talk, man, and he like, so you telling me if I join you, you can help me? And like she said, say less. She bent down, took his hand, put it on this girl's chest, and brought her back to life. And the girl wake up like, what the like what happened? Like and she look at her boyfriend. He like, well, what needed to be done is what happened. And he stand up, and she like lit in the saga of the Sith Lord is like, let's go. And he like, yes, my master. I'm like, oh my god, it was super simple. It was super quick. This episode was super quick too, but it left like a really strong impact. Like I know people feel strongly about Star Wars and Disney Star Wars right now, and like, but stuff like this, there's no way I can hide my excitement. This was crazy. I was so juiced watching this, and I'm like, man, they need. I just really want this to do good so it can become like a show or a movie. Like we gotta turn this up. So like, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this spoiler review for the rest of Star Wars Visions. I can't wait to see what else they do. I wanted to get at least a season 2, if not one of these getting a spin-off show or something like that. Oh, no, I didn't give these a rating. I only got a rated Lupin Ocho. I'm gonna give that one a 7.5, and you know what? No, I'll give that an 8. I'll give Lupin Ocho 8, and I'm gonna give Akari a 10 just because how it made me feel. I'm like, bruh. I just need more Star Wars stuff like this. Like at the end of the day, it sounds corny, but I just want to see Jedis and Siths and lightsabers. I could care less about anything else. If the story revolves around that, you have me, and I'm pretty sure a majority of everybody else feels that way too. The story don't gotta be crazy. Just make it good. Like all these stories were super short and simple, and it worked fine. I know you gotta do a little bit more to make it like into a movie or a show, but it can be done. It can easily be done. So thank you guys for coming back to see the rest of Star Wars Visions. Appreciate y'all getting my subscribers and likes up. Next time you'll see me, I'll probably have a review or some movie news up for you guys. And I want to do an episode talking about some of the segments I'm going to have. I got this one called Shoes for Nerds, where I talk about shoes that are collabed with different things that I like. So for example, say if like the Dragon Ball Z and Adidas shoes, like I'm gonna be doing some reviews for stuff like that as well. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys. May the force be with you. And Bryce for Reviews. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok with the same name. And yeah, may the force be with you.